This is gold. For 5,000 years, humans have killed for this, died for it, built empires around it, yet it's literally just a shiny rock. Why does everyone want it? Since the dawn of civilization, humans have been absolutely obsessed with gold. What's going on? Why is everyone fighting over these shiny rocks? Because they're beautiful, I know why. The gods made gold from the sun itself. That's why pharaohs want it. What should we do with all this gold? Put it on everything. Our buildings, our jewelry, even our dead pharaohs. But why is it so valuable? Because everyone says it is. That doesn't make any sense. Just make the golden statues, please. Okay, now that we've covered ourselves in gold, let's figure out why we actually want this stuff. The real answer involves understanding what makes something valuable. You see, for something to work as money, it needs a few key qualities. First rule, rare, Your Majesty. After 3 years in the mines, I found this. That's it. I need mountains of gold. Your Majesty, gold is formed deep in the earth over millions of years. I can't just make more. You worthless piece of goofball. Your Majesty, I've done it. I can turn lead into gold. Brilliant. See, it's all about mindset. Should learn from him. Please give me tons of gold. That'll be 50 gold coins for 1 loaf of bread. Music, what? Yesterday it was 1 gold coin? Yeah, but now there's gold everywhere. It's worthless. I'm trading with seashells now. Wait, no. What have I done? Luckily for the king, alchemy was complete nonsense. Nobody could actually create gold, which meant gold stayed rare, and that's why it became money. But rarity alone wasn't enough. Gold also doesn't rust or decay. It's easy to recognize. You can divide it into smaller pieces. Plus, its music's shiny, and humans apparently love shiny things. But where did all this gold obsession begin? We need to go way back. Around 3000 BC, ancient civilizations discovered that this yellow metal could be found in rivers and dug out of the ground. The ancient Egyptians went absolutely music nuts for it. That's it. I want gold on everything. My throne, my coffin, my toilet seat. Sir, we don't have toilet seats. Then invent them and cover them in gold. The Egyptians' music believed gold was the flesh of the gods, specifically Ra, the sun god. And if you were a pharaoh, you definitely wanted to be covered in god flesh when you died. Speaking of which, when they discovered King Tut's tomb in 1922, music his coffin alone contained 110 kilograms of gold, or 242 pounds for my dear American folks. That's about this much just to bury a teenager. But the Egyptians weren't the only ones obsessed with gold. Around 600 BC, the kingdom of Lydia, in what's now Turkey, did something revolutionary. Gentlemen, I have an idea. Instead of everyone trading random chunks of gold, what if we made standardized gold coins? Music, you mean like official gold pieces that everyone agrees are worth the same amount? Exactly. We'll stamp my fates on them. Music, why your face? Because I'm the king, and I want everyone to look at me. And just like music, that the world's first gold coins were born. This was huge because now you didn't need to weigh gold every time you wanted to buy something. The king guaranteed the weight and purity. It was foolproof, unless someone started making fake coins, which they did immediately. I'll just mix this gold with some copper. And what are you doing? Nothing? Cut off his hands? Screaming. The punishment for counterfeiting was no joke. But that didn't stop people from trying because gold coins quickly spread throughout the ancient world. The Greeks used them, the Romans used them, and suddenly everyone wanted gold coins. The Romans in particular took gold very seriously. When Julius Caesar conquered Gaul, modern-day France, he didn't just want land and glory. He wanted gold. Lots of gold. Roman soldiers were even paid in gold music coins called eras. In fact, the word salary comes from salarium, which was money given to Roman soldiers' music to buy salt. But here's where things get interesting. The Roman Empire was massive, and they needed lots of gold to pay their soldiers and run their empire. And eventually, they run into a situation where, sir, we've run out of gold mines to conquer. We don't have enough gold coins to pay the army. Let's just make the coins smaller. Oh, you're extremely brilliant. And that's exactly what they did. Over time, Roman emperors kept making gold coins smaller and smaller or mixing them with cheaper metals. This is called debasement, and it's basically ancient inflation. This obsession with gold continued through the Middle Ages, but in the 15th century, something changed. Europeans heard rumors about unimaginable amounts of gold in the New World, and what they did next would cause the biggest gold heist in human history. But first, let's start with the discovery. Did you hear? There's gold in the Americas. Cities made of gold. Cities of gold. Send every freaking ship we have. The Spanish conquistadors sailed to the Americas and discovered that, yes, the indigenous peoples had gold. Lots of it. But there was one major problem: the language barrier. To even ask for directions, the Spanish had to rely on stupid hand gestures and desperate charades. See, back then, learning a language meant years of grueling work until your brain melted, and honestly, it sucked. Luckily, we music now have today's sponsor, Lingapie. We can ditch the textbooks and replace them with Bing-worthy TV. With Lingapie, you learn by watching, listening, and actually living the language. Lately, I've been watching My Little Pony in Spanish. It's a great show for learning because the dialogue is clear. It's surprisingly good for picking up daily conversational phrases. When I hear a word I don't know, I just click the interactive subtitle. The show pauses, gives me the translation, and saves it as a flashcard. Music, it's not just about vocabulary, though. It's about cultural immersion. You get a feel for the humor and the way people actually express themselves. They have a library of 3,000 plus titles in 10 languages. They even have music videos and podcasts for when you're on the go. So stop doing language learning charades. Music, use the link in my description or scan the QR code for a 7-day free trial and 55% off their annual plan. It's the best way to discover a new culture without the conquistador headache. Now back to the video. The Aztecs and Incas had been mining gold for centuries and used it for art, jewelry, and religious ceremonies. But unlike Europeans, they didn't use gold as money. To them, gold was sacred and beautiful, but not necessarily the most valuable thing in the world. The Spanish, however, had different ideas. Hello, I hear you have cool gold around here. Of course, it's all over our temples and sacred statues. Each piece tells the story of our ancestors. Oh, temples, statues too. Down, boys. The Spanish conquistadors proceeded to loot absolutely massive amounts of treasures from the Americas. They melted down priceless Aztec and Inca artwork and shipped it back to Spain as gold bars. They also found massive silver mines, mountains of it. The gold obsession didn't end with Spain. Centuries later, gold fever would strike again, this time on the other side of the world. In 1848, a music man named James W. Marshall was building a sawmill in California when he noticed something shiny in the river. Hey John, I found something. Is it wood? We need wood for the sawmill? Music, no. I think it's gold. Gold? Yeah, but let's keep it quiet. We don't want everyone to. Did someone say gold? Word spread faster than a meme on the internet. Within months, over 300,000 people rushed to California hoping to strike it rich. They were called the 49ers because most arrived in 1849. These prospectors came from all over the world. The California gold rush was absolute snorts chaos. People abandoned their jobs, their families, and their common sense to go dig for gold. Most of them found nothing. A few found enough to make it worthwhile. But you know who really got rich? Hey everyone, I'm selling pickaxes, shovels, and pans. How much? 10 times the normal price? Okay, we'll take them, that's right. The real winners of the gold rush were the people selling supplies to the prospectors. This guy, Sam Brandon, became California's first millionaire, not by finding gold, but by selling shovels. So there's a lesson in there somewhere. But the gold mania didn't stop in California. Gold rushes happened in Australia, South Africa, and the Klondike in Canada. Each time, thousands of people dropped everything to chase the dream of instant wealth, and each time, most of them failed. All this gold rushing raised an important question. What music do you do with all this gold once you find it? Well, by the 19th century, countries had figured out a system called the gold standard. Here's how it worked. Countries would back their paper money with gold. So if you had a dollar bill, you could theoretically go to the bank and exchange it for actual gold. This meant governments couldn't just print unlimited money because they needed gold to back it up. The gold standard became the international way of doing business. Britain was on it. America was on it. Most of Europe was on it. It created stability. Your money kept its value. A dollar today would buy the same thing a dollar bought tomorrow. But then came World War I, and everything changed. Wars are expensive, like stupidly music expensive. So governments across countries were like, we need more money for the war. It's a massive amount of money, to pay the soldiers weapons and supplies, but we don't have enough gold. Then let's just ignore the gold standard for now. Can we do music that we're doing it? And just like that, many countries suspended the gold standard during World War I. They printed money without gold backing it, which caused inflation. But at least they could music pay for the war. After the war, some countries tried to go back to the gold standard, but the damage was done. Then came the Great Depression in 1929, and the gold standard became a serious problem. The economy was collapsing, banks were failing, music and people were desperate for help. But the gold standard prevented the government from printing more money to provide relief. So President Franklin D. Roosevelt did something shocking. In 1933, he made it illegal for American citizens to own gold. He ordered everyone to turn in their gold coins, bullion, and certificates to the government in exchange for paper money. This let the government print money without being restricted by the gold standard. It worked kind of, but it also meant the government now controlled all the gold. The gold standard limped along through the Depression and World War II, but by 1944, it was clear the old system was broken. Leaders from 44 countries met in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire to figure out how global money should work going forward. Their solution was simple. Take the US dollar, the center of the world, and back it with gold. America promised that anyone could trade their dollars for gold at $35 an ounce. This became the Bretton Woods system. The dollar, as the world's main currency, supported by America's massive gold reserves, and it worked perfectly. Everyone believed the system. Nobody asked to see the gold. They just trusted it was there. And because of that trust, America could print dollars and the world would accept them, until one country got suspicious. Hey America, we'd like to trade our dollars for gold. How much gold? A lot. Music, we might not have that much. Countries started to realize that America had printed way more dollars than it had gold to back them up. France, in particular, started demanding gold for their dollars. America was running out of gold, and the system was collapsing. So how did they solve this problem? On August 15th, 1971, music president Richard Nixon went on TV and made an announcement. My fellow Americans, effective immediately, the United States will suspend the convertibility of dollars into gold. In other words, the gold music window is closed. No more swapping paper for shiny metal. This is a temporary measure that will last forever. Thank you. Just like that, the gold standard was dead. For the first time in 5,000 years, money wasn't backed by gold anymore. So, the people were left with two options. Option A, trust the government. The dollar is fine. Gold is dead. Option B, don't trust the government. Buy gold. Most people chose option A, and they were wrong. Gold price surged from $35 per ounce in 1971 to $850 in 1980. That's 2,400 Australian dollars gain in less than a decade. Anyone who bought gold after Nixon's announcement became incredibly wealthy. Hey, do you see it? I told everyone to buy gold back then. We all thought you were crazy. Well, actually, the crazy part is I'm still buying. Why? Gold already went up 24 times. Because governments haven't stopped printing money. They've only gotten started. He was right. 1971, the total money supply was roughly $700 billion. By 2008, that number was $7.7 trillion. And then 2020 happened. The COVID-pandemic hit, and the US government made a decision that would have been impossible under the gold standard. They pumped over $6 trillion into the economy. That's 40% of all dollars that had ever existed printed in just 2 years. Would this cause massive inflation? Probably. But what choice did they have? None. That's the problem. Yet while the government was printing trillions, something strange started happening in gold vaults around the world. Central banks, the people who print money, started buying massive amounts of gold. China bought 100 tons. Russia music 274 tons. India 77 tons. Even the United States, the country that abandoned gold, holds 8,133 music tons in Fort Knox. They they never sold it. Mr. Central Banker, why music? Are you buying gold when you can print your own money? No comment. But doesn't this suggest you don't trust your own currency? Central banks probably know something the average person doesn't. Paper money is an experiment, and experiments can fail. Bell gold. Gold has survived for 5,000 years. When Rome fell, a gold survived. When Spain's empire collapsed, no gold survived. When the British pound stopped being the world's currency, gold survived. People thought gold was finished after the gold standard ended. Instead, gold went up 100 times. Cheering one man said it best in 1912, "Gold is money. Everything else is credit."